Okay, so we had back-to-back weeks with very little movement in the market. So is this what you would consider the calm before the storm? Hey, so welcome to this week's Mortgage Minutes with Mitch. I am Mitch Jenkins, Senior Loan Officer with Your Home Financial. So looking into the headlines this week, we'll start with GDP. So the first reading, remember there's 3 total that'll happen. The first reading for second quarter was 2.8%. That's pretty strong. That's about double what the first quarter was. So I definitely expect that to be revised down a little bit, but overall, that was a pretty strong number. Now today we got the PCE report, Personal Consumption Expenditures. That is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation. They came in at 0.1%, basically flat. So that's really good news. Year over year inflation went from 2.6 to 2.5. We are getting closer to that 2% target of the Fed. Now the core inflation just remained flat at 2.6%. So we're in the mid 2s, not too bad. But if you remember, core takes out food and energy. Those are kind of the most volatile components of that number. So the core number is kind of the more stable one that you'll watch, and that stayed flat at 2.6%. Now I got to talk about job numbers, and if you follow me, I've been just really upset about this. But the QCEW released the final fourth quarter numbers for 2023. Now, what happens is the Bureau of Labor Statistics comes out every month. They have this birth-death model, and they tell you, hey, this is how many jobs were created last month. The problem is it's trash. It's absolutely garbage, and they continue to use it and continue to lie to us that these are the numbers when they're not. And I say that with some emphatic force here because the QCEW just announced the actual numbers. It takes about 6 months for them to digest all the information and give you the real number, not this birth-death model that BLS uses. So what they said is instead of 637,000 jobs that the BLS claims were added, only 344,000 were actually added in the fourth quarter of 2023. So that's a difference of 293,000 jobs. From a percentage standpoint, that's overstated by 45%. That's ridiculous. If I was off by 45% in any of my numbers, I would not have a job. I'd be kicked out so fast. But they continue to lie to us and give us faulty numbers, and the reason I'm passionate about this is because that affects the bond market. That affects the interest rates my clients pay on a mortgage. So the initial reading comes out and blows the expectations out of the water, rates tick up, and then they revise it later, and it's like, hey, just kind of quietly swept underneath the rug. And that's the pattern that's been going on for a while now. So I'll continue to report on it, and I'll continue to keep you informed. But unfortunately, that's the way things work. Now next week, the Fed's going to meet on the 31st. Now nobody expects them to do anything until September. The market is all but certain the September 18th meeting, quick shout out, it's my wedding anniversary, that is going to be when the Fed will begin to lower interest rates. Now, I'm not going to say take that to the bank, but that's what the market is expecting. So I'll obviously keep you up to date. Now, if you are thinking about buying, but maybe you've been waiting for those rates to drop, let's have a conversation because you want to be positioned and ready to go if we do see any kind of drop in rates. But just keep in mind, a lot of people are doing the same thing, so be ready for some fierce competition. So as always, let me know how I can help. If you have any questions, please do post. Take a moment to tag somebody if they would like some more information. Let me know if you have any questions. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.